Welcome to this episode of Locked In. In this episode, I'm doing my full review on the Magicshine RN3000. So if you're looking for a high output light that doesn't contain an external battery pack, this review is for you. So please stay tuned and subscribe and like this video if you haven't already. So in this video, I'm going over the specs and features of the RN3000, mounting options, price, and my final thoughts. So let's get into these specs and features. This, as the name suggests, is the RN3000 from Magicshine, which the number means it is a 3000 lumen light. So yes, even with this small form factor that you see here, this is going to output up to 3000 lumens. Now, it does feature a dual bulb design, which is going to give you a flood and a spot feature. This means that it's going to give you a really sharp, high output center, depending on what mode you're in, or a nice flood at multiple different outputs. This light is going to feature 4 different brightness modes in each individual light, and then also with them combined, as well as a flash function. So you can really vary the output and hours of how long you need this light to run. It's going to run for a maximum of 62 hours in the Eco blink mode on the lowest setting, but with an impressive over 2 hours for 3000 lumens, which is really impressive since most lights in general, no matter what brand you're looking at, that don't have an external battery pack, typically lasts an hour to maybe an hour and a half. So this being over 2 hours is extremely good in the segment, in my opinion. As well as the lens actually does kind of creep around the bottom and the side of the light, so you get a little bit of light flood on the side for more attention. Now, it does feature a single button operation at the top that does illuminate green. Once you're below 30%, it'll go red, and then it'll flash red when you're below 10% to let you know roughly what the battery life is at. And it is going to feature a USB-C port at the back for fast charging. Now let's get on to mounting options. The options are going to be plentiful for this light because it does utilize the Garmin standard quarter turn. So if you have a Garmin mount on your bike, wherever it is, you can throw this light on it. But in the kit, you're going to get 2 mounts. One is going to be your standard handlebar mount, which is going to come in a variety of different strap lengths. So no matter what diameter of handlebar you have, you can get this to work easily on your bike. Then the other mount that's going to come with it is going to be your Garmin to GoPro adapter, like you see here on this Magicshine front mount, which is an accessory that you can get. This is going to allow you to easily adapt any GoPro style mount to your Magicshine RN3000, which I really like, and I think that every light that is manufactured should have this adapter on it, because typically this is your standard configuration when you're riding. You have a computer up top and your light below. Now, the other side benefit to getting the extra mount from Magicshine with their front mount is obviously you can run the light on top of it, and then you could mount your action camera to the bottom so you could get some actual decently lit and possibly good looking action footage at night when you're riding trails in the dark. Now we're going on to price. Price for this light currently on their website is $159.99 when I'm producing this video. I'll have a link in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. But I think for that price point, you're getting a ton of output, a really good runtime for it. But I'm by no means paid by Magicshine to do this review. I've used their products in the past. They did provide me this light, but they're by no means paying me to tell you whatever I think in the final thoughts. But I really would appreciate it if you would check out this light using the links in the description below. It really does help with the channel. But now let's get into my final thoughts. Now, when looking at a light, no matter what kind you're looking for, typically the big things that I would always say that are prevalent to me is going to be size and form factor, as well as is it an internal battery or external battery. Now this light, and I have reviewed a few others on the channel, I'll be linking all that playlist in the description below. I was really surprised with how small this is with the output and the runtime. So this unit has a 10,000 milliamp battery. Typically when you get to that big, it's going to be an external battery that you have to then put somewhere else or strap to your frame, which I really don't like doing. I'm willing to do it on night trail rides, but for something like this is going to be like the ultimate trail / commuting / all day tour light, and usually that capacity does not come in this form factor or from what I've seen, but feel free to comment below if I'm wrong. Other thing I do like, because it's a dual LED light, I really do like that it gives you a nice hot center so that you can see what's in front of you, as well as a nice flood so you can still see around you easier. Because typically lights of this style, you're either going to have a single element or a dual element light, and I really do like the dual element light, especially for this, because for commuting or riding at night, it really does kind of give you the best of both, with obviously the form factor being smaller with the single LED or single element unit. You're not physically able to get that because of how they design the light internally and how the light is going to disperse. So this is going to give you the best of both worlds. Now, this is weighing in at 279 grams, which is almost a pound. Not a huge amount of weight. It is kind of hefty, But the other thing to consider is the overall length of the light. Depending on what handlebars you're running, what your cable situation is like in the front, it is a pretty big unit as far as the length goes. So you might have some clearance issues potentially on it because of the length of it, especially if you're going to run a handlebar bag. Now, I have other front mounts that do have different lengths as far as how far it puts the computer and GoPro mount out, which do help. And then some are top mounted like this, and others run in line or in parallel with the center of the handlebar. So keep that in mind when picking up a light this big, and the overall dimensions are all going to be in the description below. Besides that, I've been super happy with it. I've used other Magicshine products and they have a really good build quality. This light feels super solid, like you would expect from any other brand, especially at this price point. And I really think it's a killer bang for the buck. But the biggest thing that I think is the biggest winner for this is the runtime. Over 2 hours for 3000 lumens is insane for a non-external battery unit. I know I've said that already in the video, but it's true. And I've tested out multiple Magicshine products and they've always been on point with what they state as far as the output and runtime. So I'm extremely happy with this. And as you've seen in some of my footage, as I've cycled through the different modes that the light has, it has a really good output, and again, that dual personality where you can get the really high output center that's really bright so you can see what's going on, but you still get a good amount of flooding so that you can see what's around you as well, to the left or the right of the light. And I really do like how they shape the light and the beam. The only thing to keep in consideration, like I mentioned, is the size and the weight, depending on if this is something you need. If you don't think you ever need 3000 lumens, that's fine. That just means you're going to get more runtime on the lower modes. So if you think, oh, I only want 1000 lumens or something like that, run this thing on low or eco and you're going to get insane run times, and again, no external battery. So if you have any more questions, please put in the comments below. I check them every single day. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and you can help support the channel with my Slow But Look Pro merchandise, which I have linked below, as well as on Pateron. I really would appreciate it. And lastly, thanks for watching this episode of Locked In.
Let's get locked in today. Like tutorials and quick and fix it.